The United States has twice sided with Russia in United Nations votes, signaling a major shift in its Ukraine policy under President Donald Trump. This change has alarmed European allies and exposed a widening gap between Washington and its traditional partners. At the UN General Assembly, UNGA, the U.S. voted against a European-backed resolution condemning Russia's invasion, a position that aligned it with Moscow, North Korea, and Belarus. In a parallel move, the Trump administration introduced its own resolution at the UN Security Council, UNSC, calling for an end to the conflict, but avoiding any criticism of Russia. The watered-down resolution passed with 10 votes, but key U.S. allies, including the UK and France, abstained after their efforts to amend the text were blocked. The diplomatic shift comes as French President Emmanuel Macron and UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer attempt to bridge transatlantic differences with Washington. Trump's stance on Ukraine has challenged long-standing U.S. foreign policy and raised doubts about its commitment to European security. European diplomats were particularly disturbed when the U.S. actively opposed a resolution reaffirming Ukraine's sovereignty. Ukrainian officials urged global leaders to condemn Russia's aggression rather than normalize it. The vote results revealed a divided international community, with 93 countries backing the European-led resolution, while 18, including the U.S., voted against it. The U.S.-sponsored resolution, which merely called for peace without assigning blame, only passed after amendments recognizing Ukraine's sovereignty. Ironically, Washington then abstained from its own resolution, adding to the confusion over its policy direction. Meanwhile, at the UNSC, where Russia holds veto power, attempts to hold Moscow accountable have been largely blocked, forcing the UNGA to become the primary stage for debates on the war. As the war enters its fourth year, Trump's repositioning on Ukraine raises serious concerns about NATO's unity and the future of Western security. While the Biden administration had strongly backed Ukraine with military aid and diplomatic support, Trump's approach appears more conciliatory toward Moscow. This shift has sparked fears that Ukraine may face reduced U.S. assistance, leaving European allies to shoulder more of the burden in confronting Russian aggression.